Welcome, students of Philosophy of Education course. Welcome to week 12, the last week of this course, the week in which we conclude the course with a discussion about the status of education as a social sphere, and particularly the argument for granting education an autonomous status in society. An argument that um, for some, if not for many or most, sounds weird in when first heard of. We addressed this topic of um, education's autonomy through examining education within the socio-political environment, and particularly the way education operates in a democratic society. In a sense, this argument for education autonomy is an expansion on the education philosophy relation that we um, addressed last week. One of the readings is of Biesta and Safstrom, titled A Manifesto for Education. In this piece, they don't speak explicitly in terms of autonomy. They talk in terms of speaking for education and standing up for education, and they offer their own characterization of education, and they talk about theorizing education educationally. That means that they're looking for what is educational in education, and they talk about making education special, unique, and proper. The first theme this week speaks to this piece, and I'm asking you, what do these terms, speaking for education and stand up for education, suggest about education? Why the authors speak in these terms? Do you think that it is necessary to speak in these terms, and do you think that such terms are relevant for educational practice, or maybe only for educational research, the focus of Biesta and Sartre's room? Um, the second theme this week uses mostly the other two readings, one of Wilson and one of myself. Wilson's piece, entitled Education versus Society, is quite radical challenge of the idea that education is and supposed to be rooted in and to serve political, social, or ideological ideal, whether from the left or from the political right. In my piece, I entitled The Conflict Between Education and Autonomy. I argue for exactly this problem, conflict between a democratic governance of a jurisdiction on the one hand, and an education system that is not ideologically and politically driven, and as such, I argue that such education cannot fulfill the high expectations we have from it, at least with regard to nurture critical students and other and other goals. In my piece, I offer education's autonomy as one possible way to address this conflict between education and democracy. And as such, the second theme, entitled "Is Education's Autonomy Desirable and even feasible?" I'm asking, do you think that the fact that education is woven in the political fabric, as at least as Wilson and as I describe, whether this mesh of education in politics, whether it's a problem? What are your thoughts about the idea to separate education from politics? And here we mean party politics, as offered by Wilson and by myself. Maybe you think that political involvement is inevitable. Do you think that it is even feasible? So those are the readings, and those are the issues for this week. I hope you will enjoy the reading and the discussion, and of course I hope that you enjoy the overall course. Bye bye.